And it's funny how we're supposed to accept diversity of culture, of peoples, but you go to these third world countries, no diversity. No diversity. Hey, you know what? I think maybe I want to be African. I think I want to introduce some diversity to Africa. Can I go to Africa and diversify Africa and populate Africa with my kitties? Or maybe my half-breed kitties, because maybe I'll knock up a few local broads. How would they like that? They'd probably fucking kill the kids I had because you're impure! Impure! Or they'd whack their fucking hands off to be some kind of fucking amulet or some shit. They do that with the albinos down there, you know. Albino meat's good eating, they think. They'll kill the albinos and eat the flesh because supposedly it's aphrodisiac or something, or it has magical powers. Do we want to bring these people into America? Really? I mean, it's no surprise nobody wants to go live there, right? And even if we did, we wouldn't be welcome, of course. People would look at you like you're mad. That's the interesting thing, I think. If I wanted to go to Africa and become African, people would be like looking at me like, you can't be African. You're not a black man. Well, how can you be American? I mean, we got all these people running around America that are not Americans. I don't give a fuck what your passport says, okay? I don't give a fuck if you were born there because your mommy and daddy crossed the border illegally and dropped you at the nearest hospital, or maybe they gave birth to you right in the back of the immigration van. I don't care. You're not a fucking American. You don't like it? Kiss my ass. I'm sorry, but you need to have some kind of national identity, people, okay? You need to get some kind of national identity eventually, all right? Otherwise, you're going to be wiped off the face of the fucking planet. Yeah, they're all nice to you now. They're not really that nice to you now anyway, you know? If you're a white guy walking around America, or if you wore a fucking MAGA hat, you're going to get fucking clonked on the head with a baseball bat. I'm seeing stories every day. People getting attacked for wearing MAGA hats. The fuck is that about? Because you got that wacky black woman, what's her name? Crazy Maxine, fucking running around telling people to harass Republicans. If you see somebody in a MAGA hat, go harass them. 80-year-old senile broad. This shit pisses me off. Pisses me off so much. If they're this cruel to you now, and you're like 67% of the population, or some people say 62, I don't know. The new census has to come out before we'll know exactly how little of the population remains that's white. But imagine what's going to happen when you're a fucking minority. What do you think's going to happen when white people are 10% of the population? I don't even think it'll take that much. I don't even think that the white population will need to shrink that to that degree. I think once we're less than 50%, that's it. But the more people in America that are not white, the more intolerance you're going to experience. It's very interesting how these people, these leftists, these globalists that hate white people, many of them white people themselves, talk about tolerance. Yeah, they're real fucking tolerant, right? Yeah, they're real tolerant when it comes to black people, brown people, and they call them black and brown people, people of color. Yeah, you're not a racist. Why don't you just use the N-word? Why don't you just call them colored people? You know you wanna. Ridiculous. Yeah, but they're so tolerant, right? Except for Whitey. Right, yeah. Whitey's gotta go. Whitey's evil. Whitey's a slave owner. Whitey should pay reparations. What do you do when there's no white people left? Who are you gonna fuck with then? Who are you gonna rob then? Other black people? They don't have anything to steal. Brown people? They came to America to steal from the whites. Hey, you're destroying your meal ticket, you idiots. Don't you understand? It's white people that produce the bounty that you are feeding off of. Yeah, let's get rid of Whitey, right? What are you going to do then? Go back to living in caves and mud huts? Wattle huts? A wattle hut is when they take little strips of fucking wood and bark and weave them together, and then they mix equal parts mud and shit together because it turns out shit makes a really good binding agent. Then they slap it on the wattle and tends to keep the mud from liquefying too much and running off the house. It's pretty disgusting. Yeah, let's go back to living like that, right? Climbing trees like fucking monkeys to get fucking wild bananas. Oh boy, I want to live like that. Let's get rid of all our modern conveniences created by white people. Yippity fucking do. Yeah, that sounds great, right? Oh, we'll still have Japanese in Japan. And they ain't no black people in Japan calling themselves Japanese, and they ain't letting in no black people and allowing them to become Japanese people. But it's perfectly okay for the Japanese to be Japanese, and only the Japanese to be Japanese, and no outsiders can be Japanese. But hey, outsiders can come into America and become Americans, and outsiders can move into fucking England and become British, and fucking Muslims and everybody else can go to Germany and become German, unless you're white, of course. Then you're not welcome. It's interesting, isn't it? The most productive people in the fucking world. Sorry, no vacancy for you, but let's let in the fucking leeches. Yeah, we got a vacancy for them. Really? Because, of course, that's what they want, because the leeches are easy to control, right? The leeches can be manipulated. The leeches want the welfare, and they're willing to sell what will eventually be their vote or their kids' vote for that free shit. Because eventually they know. They know that they'll take over. They breed like rabbits. They interbreed with their fucking sisters and brothers and cousins and shit. It's an epidemic with these people. And there's another problem. Talk about wackadoo healthcare costs. Fucking A, Britain has a real big problem with this. Because the kids of these immigrants have tremendous health care problems. 13 times more likely to contract a genetic disease than the local British population. 13 more times! Because they're fucking having kids with their first cousins. And it whacks the fucking IQ 12, 15 points down. And what if you're already starting with a fucking 85? Well, your son is dumber than Forrest Gump. Oh, congratulations. He can't take care of you in old age. He'll just be a burden, but you don't have to pay for him. He's another mouth in the household that can draw more welfare. Fuck me. Yeah, give all these welfare benefits to these illegals. Give them all these nice goodies. Meanwhile, the local population doesn't have any access, hardly any access to all these free goodies that are set aside for these illegal aliens that you're propping up. So they're not having very many kids because turns out having kids is expensive if you don't have all these free goodies being given to you. So they just continue to breed like rabbits, and the local population disappears. Before you know it, you got mosques everywhere, Sharia law. They already got fucking Sharia patrols in New York. Bunch of fucking Muslims riding around in their fucking turbans in cars that look like police cars, but they're really Sharia patrol. We're concerned citizens looking out for our neighborhood that we've balkanized and populated almost entirely by Muslims. Yeah. Oh, but they assimilate. Ever been to Chinatown? They don't speak English. Yeah. Oh, but they'll assimilate, right? Yeah, they balkanize in these areas and all live together, so they can suck off the home country's resources that they're in. But why would they assimilate? Why would the people in Chinatown assimilate? They don't, by the way. I've been to Chinatown. You'll be hard pressed to find anybody that speaks a lick of fucking English. Yeah, assimilate my ass. There's no motivation. You're paying them not to assimilate. It's retarded. It really pisses me off. Yeah, we expect them to assimilate. Why? Why would they? You're housing them all in the same area. And then others that come in, you're going to send them to that area as well. And then those people that can afford to live somewhere who maybe are illegal aliens, well, they're going to move to that area too because they're going to feel more comfortable. And before you know it, you've got balkanization. And then you've got people like Ilhan Omar in fucking Congress. Because so many of these people balkanized in one area, they were able to take over the entire fucking district and vote in a Muslim. We got 2 of them now in Congress. Oh, that's just the tip of the fucking iceberg. Tip of the iceberg. We're in trouble, people. We're in big fucking trouble.